The March 22nd, 2010 meeting of the Public Safety Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Antelli? Mr. Beebe? Mrs. Draw? Mr. Eckel? Chairman Hanna?
Here.
Mr. Lee? Mr. Lightfoot is excused. Mr. McCann? Mr. Yolovich.
Next item on the agenda is the public forum. Is there anyone signed up to speak this evening?
There are no public forum speakers today.
Is there anyone present who would like to address the committee this evening? Seeing none, we will move on. The next item is the approval of minutes. You have before you the February 22nd, 2010 minutes. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item, new business. Madam Chair.
Referral 79, acceptance of a grant from the United States.
Moved by Legislator Draw, seconded by Legislator McCann. Is there any discussion? Legislator Eckel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a new grant, and what I would like to know, ask the administration through you, sir, is what is the process for choosing task force members, and what's the timeline to establish this task force?
Through the chair, I'm Jennifer Curley from the Sheriff's Office, and these task forces seem to be created by the federal government. They're giving different federal agencies money to create these task forces. I don't think there's any other reason is that we have a certified FBI team in our county, and we work with them already. This isn't something we're doing additional. We already respond to calls, and they're just going to reimburse us for the overtime that we expend on calls and on training for our bomb team.
So through the chair, just to make sure I understand this, we're basically going to be just assisting as we have in the past, and there's going to be no new task force, if you will. It's just going to be the existing ATF task force plus assistance from the Sheriff's Office.
Through the chair, that's correct.
Thank you very much.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, item carries. Next item.
Referral 80, acceptance of a grant.
Moved by Legislator McCann, seconded by Legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion? Legislator Eckel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This fairly standard question through the chair to the administration. What is the current DNA and firearm backlog?
Through the chair, my name is Steve Bowman. I'd like to introduce our new lab administrator, Janet Anderson Sequest, and she can answer those, sir.
Welcome, Ms. Sequest.
Currently, we're in about the 1,000 range. I just finished compiling the data for a state report for the year of 2009. What I can say is that the backlog is reducing in little baby steps at this point, but it is reducing in both of the sections. And I'm looking at 2 new DNA analysts being released within the next month and 1 new firearms analyst being completely trained within about the next 3 months, which will significantly affect backlogs as well.
Thank you very much. The referral says this funding is for the period of October 1, 2009 through September 31. Has any of this $45,000 been encumbered as of today's date? And if so, how much and for what purpose?
The money that has been encumbered deals with training for our LIMS system, which is the system that we use, laboratory inventory management system. We do all our reporting through that. So we're doing some additional training so we can best use that laboratory inventory management system, and also crystal reports training so we can do specific reports using that software. We've also, and that was approximately $4,500. We've also used some overtime, and I'm not sure of the exact amount for that. And the rest of the money as yet has not been used.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, item carries. Next item.
Referral 81, authorize a contract.
Moved by legislator Yolovich, seconded by, I'm sorry, seconded by, who, did you second it? I'm sorry, seconded by legislator
Antelli.
Antelli. Is there any discussion? Legislator Beebe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see on this referral that there's a decrease of over $10,000. Can anybody give a reason for that?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that, my name is Jerry Helfer, Assistant County Executive. I believe that it's the same amount as last year, the $35,000 figure.
Then, through the chair, then why is the comment in the referral here showing a decrease?
I think.
Is it because of the 3-year cycle? I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong one. Gotcha.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 82, acceptance of a grant
Moved
from
by
the...
legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Draw. Is there any discussion? Legislator Beebe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can anybody give me a reason why there was a decrease of $10,000 in this?
Through the chair, my name is Fred Ryan. I'm with the Office of Emergency Management. The decrease in this year's award, we did apply for a higher amount, I believe in the $50,000 to $60,000 range, but this is the award allocated to us by New York State.
All right, thank you. I have one more question, Mr. Chairman. Through you, now the amount that of the grant is $31,713.45, and the contract with MCC is going to be for $27,930. That makes a difference of $3,783.45. What's that money going to be used for?
Through the chair, the $3,783.45 will be used to purchase CERT kits to support the training effort.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is there any other discussion? Legislator Draw.
Mr. Chair, can I, to the administration, I'd just like to ask a question. Who's the community emergency response training? Who exactly? How are the citizens picked for that or chosen for that?
Through the chair, there's 3 entities in the county that deliver community emergency response training in addition to, well, 2 in addition to Monroe County. That is the City of Rochester Fire Department and the Ridge Road Fire District. Entities come to the county, towns or villages or school districts or colleges, and request to indicate that they've put together a team, they want the training, and we then deliver that training to them.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, item carries.
Referral 83, amend the 2010.
Moved by legislator Draw, seconded by legislator McCann. Is there any discussion? Legislator Yolovich.
In some discussions about this, through you, Mr. Chairman, in some discussions about this, I understand that basically what we're doing is we're taking up the 5-year CIP spread and shrinking that back inward to use more of the money now to save money. Could you, someone, Steve or whoever, kind of explain to us how you're going to save $7 million by doing that, please?
Yes, through the chair. What I'd like to do is turn it over to Barb Frasina. Barb has been the person as Deputy Director of the Information Services for the county who's written all the statement of work and negotiated all the contracts and can explain this.
Through the chair, the savings is really going to come from ongoing maintenance. What's in the capital fund is what we're going to use to do the implementation. Once you do implementation, you start paying ongoing maintenance. What we're able to do is decrease the original cost of the maintenance down by 42%. And then ongoing, what they do is they spread it out, and they'll say it increases every year between 7 and 10%. We got them down to 3%. And if you just spread it out over 10 years, it adds up to right over $7 million.
That's significant. Thank you very much.
Is there any other discussion? Legislator Eckel.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration. So, as I'm understanding it, instead of implementing it, is in the original CIP we voted on. We have $2 million from 2010, $4 million from 11, and $4 million from 12. Going into were those implementation costs for this project?
Yeah, through the chair, that was for the implementation costs. Why we are asking for the money all up front, because we want to sign one contract so we can get those negotiated deals. We will spend the money, as it's stated, $2 million, $4 million, $4 million. So we will spend it, but we just need it up front so we can write one contract.
Thank you very much.
Those are implementation costs.
Okay, great. So, through the chair, how does this project integrate with work assigned to M3S LDC? I know they were supposed to do all the public safety equipment management.
Yeah, through the chair, this really does not relate to the LDC at this point in time. This is software, and this project began, I want to say 2005 or 2006, well before the LDC was even considered. The LDC deals with equipment primarily. The majority of this is software, and it's integrated software between the jail records management system, the computer-aided dispatch system, the police records management system, fire records management system, EMS records management system, Morris, and maybe something else I'm missing, but it integrates all the information and data in software together.
Okay, great, thank you. So just to be sure, M3S LDC does purely hardware, won't be engaging in software? I'm just clarifying that because I'm confused.
Through the chair, as a standard, yes. There is software associated with the radio systems and other things that we're
with
dealing
specific
with.
Hardware, yeah.
Yeah, with the hardware, but this is software for the 911 center and police, fire, and EMS, et cetera, to do their data management.
Oh, fantastic, thank you. And through the chair, how many companies were asked to submit a bid on this RFP, and do we have the names of those companies?
Through the chair, what we first did is we did an RFQ, request for qualifications, because we wanted our vendor to make sure that they could support at least 1 million calls through the CAD, through the 911 dispatch center. That came back to 4 vendors. We asked them to respond to our RFP. 3 vendors came back, and then we selected Tiburon as our vendor.
Okay, do we have the names of the other 2 vendors?
Intergraph and Motorola.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all I have. Thanks.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Item carries. Is there any other new business? Are there any other matters to come before the committee this evening? Legislator Beebe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In light of recent developments through the media, it's come to my attention some concerns I have with the Navitech organization, and I'm wondering if I could be allowed to ask a couple of questions to the Public Safety Director in regards to that.
What is it in regards to? I'm sorry.
In regards to the M3S and the Navitech company.
Well,
the sales tax abatement that was given through Comida.
I can have you ask the questions, Mr. Bowman, if you would like to submit the answers in writing, that would be fine. Go ahead, Mr. Beebe.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, last year we approved a $224 million contract with the M3S LDC and help with the long-term needs of the public safety, communications, and refresh its technology components, including the wireless and mobile communication systems. 5 of those key components of the project were to upgrade infrastructure with transport capabilities using fiber optic cable and microwave radio. Also upgrade and integrate the law enforcement system, fire emergency medical services, replace mobile data technology systems, to develop and install an 800 megahertz trunked radio system for all other public service entities. And, hopefully with a 90% mobile coverage in the county and between 80 and 85% portable coverage. And finally, plan to replace all end-user devices identified, infrastructure components, and other support equipment based on a reasonable schedule. Through you, Mr. Chairman, one question I do have is, would the Public Safety Director be able to provide an update on the public safety and security systems and services contract with the M3S as proposed by the RFP respondent and subsequent subcontractor, Navitec?
Through the chair, I'm not prepared to do that right now, but I can do it at some time in the future.
All right, thank you. Specifically, what is the timeline for rolling out the project elements that I had mentioned up beforehand here?
Mr. Chairman, point of order. This is not on our agenda. This has nothing to do with our agenda here. I think it's completely out of order.
Point of order, sir. This has to do with the Public Safety Committee. And I think all business that comes before the Public Safety Committee can be asked in the Public Safety Committee, whether it is on the agenda or not. That's why we have other matters to come before the agenda.
Thank you. I'm going to allow Mr. Beebe to ask a few questions. We certainly don't expect Mr. Bowman to have all the answers at this point, since he may not have been prepared for these questions. But I'll allow leeway and let you ask some questions, absolutely.
All right, I appreciate that, and I only have a couple more. I previously mentioned what I can do with the rest of the questions I have is I will submit those to Mr. Bowman and allow him the latitude of being able to give the answers that I'm searching for. Thank you. Just a couple more questions, Mr. Chairman, through you to Mr. Bowman. Has there any equipment been purchased yet?
Through the chair, no, sir.
All right, thank you. And one more question, Mr. Chairman, through you. Has the county dispersed any funds to MS3 LDC to date? And if so, how much?
Through the chair, I'll have to get back to you on that. I do not know, sir.
All right, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate Mr. Bowman's latitude on this. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm sure that if anybody has any questions regarding this, Mr. Bowman would be more than happy to answer them.
Mr. Chairman, just respectfully request that we keep the voting open. Mr. Lee was supposed to have been here by now, but was detained until the end of business today.
We will do that.
Thank you.
We will not do that.
Well, just the end of business today. I mean, it's okay.
Is there any other matters to come before the committee? Mr. Beebe.
Yeah, just one more thing. I'm sure everybody received the Office of the Public Defender annual report, And I'd like to put on the record that I'm very well pleased with the report, and sounds like they're trying to do the best they can.
Thank you. Is there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no further business, the March 22nd, 2010 meeting of the Public Safety Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Public Safety Committee will be held on April 26, 2010 at 5 p.m.